Barev. Do you know what that means? In Eastern Armenian, we say barev to mean hello. Ba-rev, hello. In Western Armenian, parev. Pa-rev, meaning hello. Barev in Eastern Armenian and parev in Western Armenian. Now, you might be wondering why there is different pronunciation in each of the Armenian dialects, and this is largely because of the way that the different letters in the alphabet are pronounced between the different dialects. Barev or parev means hello. This word starts with the letter that you can see on the screen. In Eastern Armenian, it is pronounced b. In Western Armenian, it is pronounced p, and it looks a little bit like a lowercase f in English. Barev or parev, hello in Armenian. Barior. What does this mean in Armenian? Barior in Eastern Armenian or parior in Western Armenian. Notice we have very similar phrases on screen. Barior, parior. And this is because each bari and pari starts with that same letter that we saw before, which is pronounced b in Eastern Armenian or p in Western Armenian. We'll learn a little bit more about the Armenian alphabet and the differences between Eastern and Western in our next lesson. Barior or parior translates to good day in English, or have a good day. Let's have a look at some others. Bari aravot or pari aravod. Bari yereko or pari yerego. Bari gisher or pari gisher. To say good morning in Eastern Armenian, we would say bari aravot. Notice we're using this bari word again. Good morning. In Western Armenian, we would pronounce it pari aravot. Good morning. To say good evening, in Eastern Armenian, we would say bari yereko. Bari yereko. In Western Armenian, we would say pari yerego. Pari yerego. And to say good night in Eastern Armenian, bari gisher, or in Western Armenian, pari gisher. Let's have a practice pronouncing some of these quickly. Can you say good morning in your dialect? Either bari aravot for Eastern Armenian or pari aravod for Western Armenian. Okay, now let's try to say good evening. If you speak Eastern Armenian, you want to say bari yereko. If you speak Western Armenian, you will say pari yerego. Okay, and good night. In Eastern Armenian, try saying bari gisher. And in Western Armenian, pari gisher. We can notice a pattern here that is similar to barev and parev, and that's because they start with that same letter, b in Eastern Armenian or p in Western Armenian. The letter looks the same but is pronounced differently depending on which dialect you speak. We can also see another slight difference in the second word here, meaning morning. In Eastern Armenian, we say aravot. In Western Armenian, aravod. And that is because the letter that we use for the end of this word is pronounced t in Eastern Armenian and pronounced d in Western Armenian. Let's have a look at the similarities between the other phrases here. Bari yereko, pari yerego. In the Armenian alphabet, we have a letter which is pronounced k in Eastern Armenian and g in Western Armenian, and we will explore more about this in day 2. What about in our final word here? Bari gisher, pari kisher. You can see a similar pattern forming. The start of the word night, gisher or kisher, uses the same letter, but it's pronounced g in Eastern Armenian or k in Western Armenian. Now, don't panic. Most people only learn one dialect, and so it's not necessary for you to remember both. But it is useful for you to start to become familiar with the differences between Eastern and Western Armenian, so that you have the chance of understanding both. Bari, pari. Aravot, aravod. Yereko, yerego. Kisher, kisher. Good morning, bari aravot. Pari aravot. Good evening, bari yereko. Pari yerego. Good night, bari kisher. Pari kisher. Do you remember what barev or parev means in Armenian? Hello in English. Well done. What about barior or parior? We know that bari or pari means good. Barior or parior means good day or have a good day. And bari aravot or pari aravot means good morning. Bari yereko or pari yerego means good evening. And bari kisher or pari kisher means good night, depending on which dialect you speak. And so if bari or pari means good, we can tell that the rest of the phrase means morning, evening, or night. How would we say, how are you in Armenian? The most common way you will hear Armenians ask how you are is laves, which really translates directly to good are, or are you good? In English, a similarity would be to say you are good, or are you good? Laves. Can you say laves? Good are. Love means good. S means are. Laves. The answer is quite often lavem. This translates directly to good am, or I good am, or I am good in English. Okay, what if we want to introduce ourselves? We would start by saying my name is. Let's try with the example my name is Ani. The Armenian word order is my name Ani is. Im meaning my, Anun meaning name, but in this case we change it to Anunus because it's my name, Ani, which is my name, and is, or in Armenian. My name is Ani, Im Anunus Anie. My name Ani is. What if we want to say my name is Aram? The word order we're looking for is my name Aram is. Im Anunus Aram e. My name Aram is. How would you say your name in Armenian? If your name is Hurag, Im Anunus Hurag e. If your name is Aline, Im Anunus Aline e. If your name is Seta, Im Anunus Seta e. Try this with your name. Okay, let's test what we've learned so far. How would we say hello in Armenian? Have a look at some of the options on the screen below. Which one translates to hello in Armenian? Parev or barev, well done. Parev in Eastern Armenian, barev in Western Armenian. Okay, can you remember the word for evening in Armenian? Remember, we saw this word when we were learning how to translate good morning, good evening, and good night. Can you remember which word is used for evening? Yereko or yerego. Well done. Yereko in Eastern Armenian, yerego in Western Armenian. Let's try another. How do we say name in Armenian? Anun, that's right, and we used Anunus because it was my name in the sentence that we were building. Don't worry if you don't remember all of these immediately. We use our video lessons to help you become familiar with the new words. and then our practice exercises to help you remember them more permanently. Anun, meaning name. Okay, so we know how to say my name is Ani. Im anunas Anie. The word for is in Armenian is e. How would we say where is? We know that the word is in Armenian is e. So how would we say where is? In Eastern Armenian, vortere. In Western Armenian, ure. Where is? Can you pronounce this in your dialect? Vortere or ure. The GH in Eastern Armenian is pronounced r. It's a sound that you make almost at the back of your throat. R. The R in Western Armenian is pronounced r, which is a gentle roll of the tongue. Vortere, ure. See if you can pronounce this now. Where is? And as you continue to build your vocabulary, you'll be able to use this sentence structure to ask where all sorts of things are. Where is my mother? Where is my book? Where is a street I'm looking for? And so on. Let's recap what we've learnt today so far. We learned to say hello, barev in Eastern Armenian or parev in Western Armenian. We became familiar with our first letter in the Armenian alphabet. Looking like a lowercase English F, it's pronounced B in Eastern Armenian or P in Western Armenian. We learned how to say good day or have a good day, barior or parior. Bari or pari translating to good, and or translating to day. We learned how to say good morning, bari aravot or pari aravot. Good evening, bari yereko or pari yerego. And good night, bari gisher or pari gisher. We learned how to say are you good or the informal version of how are you, laves. And we learned how to say I am good, lavem. Or the direct translation, good am. We learned how to introduce ourselves. Im anunas Gevorge, or Im anunas Arame, or Im anunas Anie. My name is Gevorg, or Aram, or Ani. And hopefully you practice doing this with your own name. Im anunas something e. My name is something. And we learned how to say where is. And we can use this to ask for directions, ask where our friends are, or ask about the location of our belongings. Vortere in Eastern Armenian, ure in Western Armenian. Don't forget your practice exercises. In your learning portal underneath this video, you'll find a bunch of practice exercises to help you learn, and these are exactly the same as the ones we use in our online Armenian school. We've included audio exercises, worksheets, flashcards, and quizzes, so that you can do them as many times as you like until you feel that you've learnt what we've taught today. Well done on completing day 1. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 2 of Improve Your Armenian in 5 days.
This was a sample lesson from Tun Online Armenian School. If you're interested in learning Eastern or Western Armenian, you can sign up and start learning for free today at tunup.com.